mention. So I'm just
But let me ask you something, Don.
I'm disappointed in Poch right now, man. He's been doing madness. I can't lie to you.
Let me ask you something, because I get what you're saying, and I do think Poch is to be blamed. I 100% agree with you. That decision of playing Cucurella on right back last game and then putting Colwell left back, you give yourself zero options from your fullbacks to progress the ball. And you were wondering why you were struggling in your half. You have no fullbacks that can dribble past that line and just beat a man and get out of that press. So that was on him. But here's the thing. I still look at players like, and this doesn't get talked about enough, and I don't know when we're going to start talking about it. Caicedo is an example. I'm tired of people talking about Enzo. Let's talk about Caicedo a little bit. What has Caicedo been doing in that midfield? Because on and off the ball, I'm sorry. Listen, maybe I don't watch him under the microscope like Chelsea fans do, because obviously most times I'm busy watching my team. But every time I watch him, bro, he's not what he was doing in Brighton at all. And he's not the player. How much did you spend for him again? This guy went for a world record fee. This guy could have been in Liverpool right now going for the league, if we're being honest. Because all they're missing right now is a DM. Right now, he formed that partnership with Enzo, and it's not working. And I think Enzo's struggling because of him. Because he's not helping in that midfield. Every time you guys get out-muscled in that midfield, I'm not really looking at Enzo. I'm looking at the DM. And Enzo really, really reminds me of Pogba. And I said that last week. I said he's getting the Pogba treatment because that midfield and that team is not good enough. So they just keep pointing at the main guy in that midfield, who's Enzo. But I don't think he's being helped, bro. That's one example where, like, okay, you're being played in your position and you're not performing well. And you're not winning midfield battles. The fact that you didn't win a midfield battle against McTominay, bro, that by its own, bro, is embarrassing. Because no one, bro, we don't beat anyone in the midfield. Terry would tell you here, I can't remember the last time we dominated in the midfield. Wallahi, I don't remember.
But Staffy, this is the thing, though. Like, I can criticize Caicedo for how he played on the ball the other day because he was very sloppy, yeah? But end of the day, I can't ignore how Poch set us up. I'm so sorry. There was too much space in between our midfield and the attack and the defense. We were so deep into our own half, right? We were boxed in. You boxed us in. Right. And like I said, at Brighton, if you watch Caicedo at Brighton, the guy had McAllister next to him. The guy had Pascal Gross next to him. Every single time he would get on the ball, there was always an option that he could play the ball off to. At Chelsea, bro, he's got no one next to him, and you're expecting him to run through the midfield as if he's De Jong. He's not that. He's not that type of player. So like I've said right now, he's not being used correctly. Right? These players are not being used correctly, and a lot of that goes down to
how's he supposed to be used?
Poch is setting up. Like I've said to you, if you're going to use Enzo and Caicedo, they need to be in a pivot. We didn't play a pivot the other day, bro. We played a 4-3-3. Palmer basically played as an 8. You know how mad that is, bro? Palmer was playing as an 8. You had Palmer picking up the ball from deep and Enzo as the furthest midfielder. Do you know how crazy that is, bro? I couldn't believe what I was watching. Yeah. And at the end of the day, with Caicedo, he's had good games this season. Yeah. He didn't have the best start. Obviously, he came on against West Ham. Absolute howler of a debut. One of the worst debuts I've seen in the Premier. But I can't ignore the good games that he's had this season. Obviously, he's been underwhelming because of the price that we've paid. But he has had good games. And defensively, he's been solid in there. A lot of the games that we've picked up points this season, if it wasn't for him, being a bit of a nuisance in midfield, it would have been long for us. Do you know what I'm saying? But end of the day, like I've said, a lot of how we're playing right now, a lot of like Man United the other day, the setup was completely incorrect. And I have to look at the manager for that, bro. I have to.
I get you criticizing the manager. I want to throw this out to LB. Some Chelsea fans are talking about sacking him. Others think that with this young squad, having already gone for a lot of managers, sacking him would be a mistake. They can't stay in 10th and Poch keep his job, surely. Well, or do they have to ride through this no matter what?
Well, no, they definitely don't have to ride through it no matter what. They spent £1 billion. They're going to want a return on that. And that means success. That means winning actual silverware. I mean, it's all good sitting here saying, oh, yeah, Pochettino is great with, developing young players. What's he won in the game, man? What's he won? Didn't win anything at Spurs. Didn't do particularly well at Paris. So let's be real. Yeah? Even if he develops them, what's the long-term strategy? We're just going to develop these players for a few years and then sack him when he inevitably don't win anything and then get a new manager in. Well, what's the point? Might as well just bypass that phase and get an actual manager that can win. I don't rate the guy. I don't rate the manager, man. I don't rate it, and I don't buy this all. Oh, he's great at developing young players. Is that a thing? Now? Is that you don't want winning trophies, isn't it? That's what Chelsea want, winning trophies. So I just think that, like, listen, obviously you can't just sack him straight away, but how long do you give him, man? I obviously Don watches Chelsea more than me. He's telling me that he's making dumb decisions. Well, how long do you want to give him then? Keeps making dumb decisions. Sack him. You get a manager that actually knows how to win stuff.
He's going to get himself sacked, Lewis. This is what I'm saying. He's going to get himself sacked. And like I've said, right now, I've literally just, for me, how I look at it right now is I'm just praying that these lot recover quickly. Because again, like clockwork, I said in a group chat the other day with Gem and that, what's going to come out is injuries. What happened yesterday? Oh, when Cuckoo, Lavia, these lot are going to help. That's not good enough. That is not good enough. That's why I'm just praying that these lot recover quickly so he can't hide behind that excuse anymore. He runs off to that excuse every single time. Who forced you to play Levi at left back? No one did that. People come to me and tell me, oh, it's because of height. We haven't got height in this team, but we're still conceding headers. Look what Matomede did to him for the second goal. He outbeat him in the air, bro, and it keeps happening. You know what I mean? This is not good. Look at Guardiola. Pep Guardiola's playing him there. You're not seeing the best of him, bro, because he's been played out of position. The same thing as Levi Colwill. This guy was amazing last year at the Emirates. Amazing against Liverpool last year. He comes to Chelsea, we've got him looking like a fridge at left back because he's not meant to be playing there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I have to look at these things. And as much as, like I said, these players take responsibility because they haven't been good enough in front of goal and individual mistakes at the back, I have to look at the manager and how he's setting them up. It's poor, bro. It's been bad. It's been bad.
I hear you on that. Rory, this weekend, they go away to Goodison Park, Everton, who just battered Newcastle 3-0. How do you see this going Sunday afternoon for Chelsea?
I think Everton are going to beat them. I think Everton are on a high. I think they've won 3 out of the last 4 games. Chelsea don't travel away well. And I can see Everton is perfect for them. They're sitting deep. We know Chelsea can't deal with that sort of defence. And they're sitting deep. They'll do them on the counter. And a little 1 or 2-0 win to Everton. See everyone happy.
Well, this is the thing for me, yeah. Right, so you talk about should they sack Poch. Next games for Chelsea: Everton, Sheffield United, Wolves, Palace, Luton Town. Let's be honest, if he doesn't come out of there with at least 4 wins, I don't think that's ridiculous. They should sack him. Sack him on New Year's Eve.
But then what happens?
Happy New Year.
That's the question. What happens?
Actually knows how to win stuff, Staffy. You can't just have this guy and he's never won anything.
No,
It's
I agree
basics,
with
man. It's basics, LB, man. I don't understand. I don't understand. This guy's not doing the basics of the game. Like he's really struggling to just get the basics. That's what I'm saying. It feels like a little experiment. Oh, this week I'm gonna do this. That week I'm gonna do that. That's what it feels like to me, bro. And it's really aggravating because I'm like, yo, when I talk about these lineups and that, obviously I'm not a coach, yeah. At the end of the day, we all like to see a balanced lineup when it comes to our teams. I've struggled to see one this season, bro. I've struggled to see one, right? Because he's putting out just lineups that none of us here would be picking week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? So it's just frustrating to watch, man, because I wanted Poch and I thought that he'll be the best guy for the job with the young players. But honestly, right now, bro, I've been disappointed. And like I said, he's on strike 1 for me right now.
Here's the thing. I just want to go back to what Obi said. I understand what you're saying. In football terms, what you said is absolutely fine. Just remove all the context. A manager comes in, doesn't win, doesn't get enough wins, you got to get rid of him. That sounds fine, especially in a big club. But I need to remind you again that their project, what they are doing, is not similar to anything that we've experienced with our clubs. Okay? These guys decided to do some weird project that has never been seen in football before, which is invest in so many young players. And I don't know what was in their heads thinking how many of these players are going to work. You saying if they don't pick up enough results, he needs to get sacked. I agree with you. That's fine. But are they really expected to pick up results like that right now? Did you bring a manager in right now to pick up results right now? Because if you sack another manager, as I said earlier, that is more instability for these players. I shouldn't be 21 years old, and in less than 2 years, I went through 4 managers in my football club. I didn't even, some of these players haven't even learned English yet, and they're going through 4 managers. That's how much unstable this club is. So did I ride it out? Sorry, Terry, because when you really look at Arsenal, obviously their project was a little bit different. They didn't spend that much, but they went through a lot of young players. They had to lose so much to finally understand how the manager wants to play, to understand how to play together. And in a few years, they clicked. They still haven't won anything. I'm not giving them that full credit, but they play much better football than they did a couple years ago. Every time you hire a new manager, I think you're taking a few steps back because they got to learn a new manager.
Yeah, but
he has a new style of play. He has a new management style, personality. I'm not saying you necessarily have to stick with him if it gets super bad.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it. I'm like, if you don't have this many points at this time, you need to go because I don't think they're trying to win right now.
But to a degree, there has to. I mean, they could. If this weekend's results don't go their way, they could end up in 13th, and then you just can't spend what they're spent and be there. Now, look, Don, I know you've got to shoot, mate, because you've got somewhere else to be. Thank you very much for coming on, brother. And we'll play you out. We'll play you out with this, bro. Thank you, my dude.
If you lose to Man United, will you say you're in a crisis then?
If we lose to Man United, someone upstairs is getting us a serious backhand, bro. I'm telling you, because there's no way we should be losing to you lot.
So will you be in a crisis then?
If we lose to United, we're in a fucking crisis.
Okay.
Oh, Chelsea, what's the win you? In blue we stand, united we rise. The Banthas they throw, we are rising again. No matter the cost, give us a win, yo. Give us a win, yo. In blue we stand, united we rise. No more defeats. Let's break down these doors. Justice rising up. We will stand tall. Together we fight. We conquer all.
If we lose to United, we're in a fucking crisis.
Okay.